Hey everybody, let's talk a little about essay 3. Your final essay for the class. You've got a little bit more time to work on it. And let's open up that document and look at it together, please. Write a 1,250 word op-ed essay. It's basically an argumentative essay. An op-ed is the type of essay that's written in a newspaper or a magazine that takes a stance that makes an argument about an important issue in contemporary society. So I have a caveat here of things to stay away from. Please stay away from the following issues: abortion, gun control, the death penalty, the drinking age, gay marriage, and legalizing drugs. These topics just breed animosity and typically don't produce meaningful discourse. And frankly, you're not going to change someone's mind about abortion in a 1,250 word English 1102 paper, if you think about it. So keep in mind, try to pick a topic that you have a realistic chance of changing someone's mind about if you argue clearly and persuasively. Try to think a little smaller here, a little bit more local. The paper is going to require you to find at least 2 credible external sources. See the video and the documents in the research folder about that. You've already done your you'll do that another rhetorical précis for this third essay as well. Okay. So there's a website here that I've selected called procon.org. And that is a very interesting place to just look around for ideas of topics, okay? Please note that this is not an acceptable site for the research portion of this paper. So you're not going to be reading articles on there and then citing those. You got to find the research through the method that we've described in the research guide, okay? That's just a site to look around and brainstorm ideas. You do the research component, and then compose your op-ed essay. There's some information in your book on pages 173 and 74 that will help you provide some additional guidance. So your thesis is going to be the argument you're making about the issue you selected. Your thesis should answer this question: how do you best support your beliefs in writing? And what is the most credible evidence available that supports your position? So how are you going to make me see that your belief is credible and valuable? Even if I don't really agree with it, can I at least accept that a reasonable person could hold your beliefs? So here's an example. Critics often cite the negative economic impact of illegal immigration to support their position. But without undocumented workers in several key industries, products and services Americans have grown accustomed to would rapidly become economically out of reach for all but the very wealthy. Okay? See how that takes a stand on that by adding a different take to the discussion of illegal immigration than folks often talk about. All right? Again, the paper structure, you're familiar with this by now, I hope. You've got the resources in the introductions and the body paragraph and the conclusions folder. There's the research component, your organization, and just go down to the additional considerations. Your essay must not offend people who disagree with you. I don't care if you want to live your life offending people, but I'm teaching you how to write in a way that doesn't offend people. Whether it's me or anybody else, I don't care if I'm the one being offended. It's just that I can know when somebody might be offended by what you're writing. And this is not to be nice or politically correct. It's to persuade effectively, writers must be able to engage with audiences who disagree with them without alienating or offending them. So that's what this class is about. Again, in your private life, if you want to walk around and offend people and deal with the repercussions of that, that's on you. But in here, we're learning how to not do that. So you can't do that in here. You're not doing it right. So if you're only writing to people who agree with you, sort of like the social media phenomenon where everybody just talks to themselves, you pretty much are in a situation where the people that agree with you go, yeah, and those who don't kind of go, eh, and then nothing has changed. Okay, so we want to get beyond that binary of 2 sets of people standing on opposite sides of a fence screaming at each other. It's not doing much for us. Okay, so maybe your generation can help us out a little bit. Another thing, you are biased. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but you are. It comes with being a human being. If you think you aren't biased, you've probably spent a lot of your life surrounded by people who share the same bias as you. Note this: learning about ideas that differ from your own is why you are in college. If you think you're in college to get a job, you'll never get a decent job without being able to learn about ideas that are different from your own. So I'll repeat, learning about ideas that differ from your own is why you are in college. It's good to be a little uncomfortable sometimes when we're thinking about these things, okay? Think about the words you use, the tone you write with, your overall attitude, your vibe when you write. Watch using words like everybody to describe an opinion. If you remember one thing from this class, let it be this: there is no everybody. Everybody agrees on nothing. Don't try to make your point stronger by saying, well, everybody wants this. I could find somebody who doesn't. Okay. Be a little bit smarter. Think a little bit smaller. When people use the word everybody, they're just they're putting no effort into the concept of audience. They're just kind of lumping everybody together, and it's laziness. Okay. Or it's just it's not understanding the complexity of the issue. All right. It might not be laziness. But either way, we don't want to think that way. We want to think a little bit more refined. All right, so that's essay 3. Good luck.